Welcome, everyone, and happy Thursday. It is noon Eastern time here in Ambler, Pennsylvania, the booming metropolis just outside of Philadelphia, PA. And Thursdays at noon, you know what that means. It is time for your favorite show on the internet, or at least that's what I like to say, Talent Experience Live, the show that covers everything that you need to know in talent acquisition, talent management, recruiting, artificial intelligence, HR tech, and human resources as a whole. So if you're interested in any of that, please stay tuned and continue throughout the program. But this program is proudly brought to you by the good folks here at Phenom, whose purpose is to help 1 billion find the right work. That is why we host this show every single Thursday, why we have a plethora of fantastic webinars. And we just did one with Grant at TD Synex about the state of candidate experience, the audit on the Fortune 500. Why we also have a fantastic podcast with Cliff Yerkowitz called Unusual Attitudes, and why we have an upcoming event called Industry Week, starting July 28th, covering 5 industries over 5 days. So today we're talking about that. But before we get into that, of course, we have to do some housekeeping. I mentioned our purpose of helping 1 billion find the right work. The real way that we do that is through our intelligent talent experience platform, which helps candidates find the right fit faster, employees evolve in their current roles and beyond, recruiters achieve next level productivity and efficiency, and managers get to build better teams through data analytics and automation. So if any of that interests you at all, run, don't walk to phenom.com to learn more, where you can certainly register for Industry Week. But we're going to dive right into that today. And I have a very special guest, a recurring guest, a 5-6-time platinum guest, I believe, who goes none other by Mike DeMarco, who knows all things about Industry Week. And today we're going to take a little bit of a sneak peek, a step into the future of Industry Week. So welcome to the program, Mike. How are you?
What's up, dude? It's good to see you.
Good to see you as well. Mike, we see each other every day. You don't have to put on a show for the people.
I know, but like, it's good to be on TXL again. Yeah. And all I'm asking is, how many episodes do I got to do before I get a jacket?
I need a jacket first, so at least 265 because I don't have any.
You don't have any.
Yeah, I think maybe that'll be the 300. Yeah, so we'll shoot for that. We'll
nice gradient.
Say Mr. 300. You know,
P.
Yeah.
It'd be nice.
Exactly.
It'd be very nice.
300 episodes of TXL is a lot like 300 strikeouts for Major League pitchers. It just doesn't happen that much anymore. We got relief pitchers coming in all over the place, but nonetheless, Mike, we'll get you a jacket and you don't have to wait till 300. Mike, we've had a lot going on here at Phenom.
Without a doubt.
State of candidate experience. I know I Am Phenom Europe is coming up.
Mm-hmm.
We have I Am Phenom India coming up, which I don't think has been announced yet. AI Day, which hasn't been announced yet.
You're just dropping all kinds.
This
is a sneak preview episode.
Mike,
we're breaking news.
We are, and I run social media, so I have to know all of these events. It's driving me insane. But nonetheless, Industry Week.
Yeah, man.
It's coming up. It is July 28th. It's happening fast.
Right.
What makes this such an important event for HR leaders?
Right.
And what can you tell us a little about it? Maybe for some folks who didn't attend last year.
Yeah. So just to cut to the quick, like, why is this important for HR leaders? Well, you are exploring AI and automation. I don't know what level of which you're exploring it, but I know that you're exploring it because we all have to keep up with changing technology. What's making Industry Week so special on the first year, but even on this year, is that we're diving into your industry specifically. So we are looking at what are your current challenges, because every industry is not the same. Retail hiring is a world of difference between that and healthcare hiring, FinServe, manufacturing. There's a lot of different nuances. And you know, the market is shifting. People are starting to want to figure out, they're not curious about AI and automation anymore. Everybody's bought into the dream of that this is where technology is going. This is where the internet's going. This is where our world is going. We have to adopt it or be left behind. And so what we're hearing from folks and what makes this so special this year is that we're getting those customer stories directly from the people who have lived this and who are already experiencing real results for it. We're connecting it back to the challenges that you face, and we're providing those demos. What I'm saying is that Phenom's an applied AI company, and we're going to start doing our part and really showing you on an explicit level how you can apply AI and automation based in your industry. Because again, it all doesn't fit, but you have to find the right approach that works for you. There's no one size fits all. There's no wrong way of going about adoption in this. the only wrong way would be to do nothing.
Yeah.
And so what we're going to be telling you is, hey, what's going on in your industry? Who are the people that are having that success? What are the products that they're actually using? And what's a good next step that you can take with AI and automation?
Yeah, it's interesting. You mentioned the specifics that you need from industries, and I liken it to walking onto a car dealership lot, right? I show up there, my gold chains hanging out, my jewelry, my Apple Watch. Car dealer comes up to me, says, "I want to get you in a Ferrari today." I'm like, "I have 2 children and a wife. There's no back seats in Ferraris, right? That's not going to work for me." So when we talk about HR technology and artificial intelligence, and when individuals start talking and painting it really with a broad brush, if you don't have those intricacies of, hey, I need a minivan because I have to get 7 kids to soccer practice from school every single day, that's high volume hiring, right?
Yep.
You're not going to get that done in a Ferrari, which you might need that personalized, that extra, fast
FinServe, man.
volume. Exactly.
Think about those roles. Like right now, the FinServe industry is getting eaten alive by the fintech industry, who's able to throw $1 million signing bonuses to come join their team because they believe in their work.
Yep.
If you don't have the ability to move fast, you're going to lose. And so that's what's going down.
Yeah. So obviously these days are going to be very specific, right? And you're going to tailor them, or we're going to tailor them, I should say, to those specific industries. What does the format of the day look like, right? Everyone's days are jam-packed. We're all trying to learn new tools. We're all leveraging AI in one way, shape, or form. Is this an all-day event that people are going to have to show up for? Pull up a lawn chair, order lunch? What does it look like?
A good summer concert, a good summer concert vibe with lawn seats? No. So but before we jump into each of the days, I would love to just talk about how are we differentiating each of the days individually by way of industry, because to your point, there's a big difference between a minivan and a Ferrari. And so at Phenom, we really believe that connecting closely with our partners to really deeply empathize, understand, and provide solutions that actually meet those challenges. So we're shaping the days, the industry specific content around the challenges that we're hearing. So retailers, we know that speed is everything and you're attracting young talent. So we're going to be showing you, one, let's just talk about that. Let's just break down the day, right? So on retail day, speed is everything for you. So we picked 2 customer stories with Rally House and with Bob's Discount Furniture. You're going to hear, one, how Rally House in the course of months built a hiring engine that just moves candidates quickly, that's allowed them to scale up to hundreds of stores. Now they got a blueprint to where if they hear they have to expand into the Northwest tomorrow, they know the playbook that they are going to run, and Phenom is a central part of that. AI and automation is a central part in that for them. We're going to hear from Bob's Discount Furniture, right? What they're going to break down, and again, what I love about this, man, is that all the stories are so different, right? So Rally House, man, they were just we got to get speed in there. Bob's, they're man, we have our sales folks who are dedicated. They're on the floor every single day, but they're also doing all of this hiring because they run a decentralized hiring model, which means that the stores manage the people that they need. They raise the requisitions and they make sure that they got the staff that they need and push it out up towards corporate. For these folks, what you're going to hear is how Bob's is actually giving their store managers the tools, the mobile-friendly tools and the workflows to allow them to stay on the floor. These are your real challenges. Retail, you can't get people in fast enough, let alone can you keep your employees on the floor, focused and selling. So we're tailoring the story of the day to fit into those challenges. And then the demos that you're going to see, right, on that day, we're showing you how you could set up an end-to-end hiring automation powerhouse that's infused with AI and automation, all the way from your career site, how you engage, what workflows you're putting in there. So that's going to be a part of that day as well. But we're showing you the tried and true things, the things that are working right now, but we're also leaning into the future too, because there's things that are happening right now with agentic AI that the world just needs to know about. And so we're going to give you a little taste of our talent companion agent as well. This is cutting edge technology. This is what is giving Gen Z a chat experience that mimics that of ChatGPT, that finds them the right work and accelerates them through the assessment and hiring process. So each day is going to really be set up around what makes your industry so special. What are those challenges that you are facing right now? Who are the people that are doing it right? And what are the tools that they're using?
Yeah. So let's walk through it for the audience at home. Obviously, you mentioned the speed, the need for speed is what is important. Shout out Tom Cruise for retail.
Right.
The folks who may not be in the retail space right now, but could be in the hospitality space, could be in the fin service space. Let's talk their talk. Let's address the needs that they have for their particular industry and how we're tailoring it.
I would love to kind of walk through this because you know how you were saying about from a minivan to a Ferrari?
Yeah.
Hiring processes adapt to depending on your industry. So taking it a step further, right? Retail, one of their main challenges is speed of hire.
Yeah.
When you move into hospitality, you need that speed. You need to be staffed 24/7. But now we're getting into hospitality. We're getting into like luxury resort territory. We're getting into like, can you fly a plane? Like we're getting into territory where you need to assess whether or not the people who you are going to bring in for these roles have the right skill sets, the right soft people skills to carry on your company culture. Because at the end of the day, right, your employees are representing your brand every single day. Like when they meet the guest at the check-in, that's your brand, right? Like if the room is clean or not, that's your brand, protecting your brand. And the people that are there behind it are the ones that are making it happen. And so we're showing you how to get those folks in appropriately. And so I'm stoked on hospitality because like for first time, we're having Sinesta share their story with us. And they are a massive global hotel chain and how they are approaching finding ways of looking at AI and automation. So you're going to notice the flavor is going to change a little bit because when you check into a hotel, what's the thing that you want to happen?
I want to have a room.
Right. but you want it to be.
And I want to have a great experience throughout from front to back.
You want to feel like they were waiting for you.
Yeah.
You want them to say, hello, Mr. Foster. We're so happy that you're checking in right now. You know, your room is ready. We put you in the corner suite because we understand that you like a window view, right? Like those experiences and those personalities are the ones that we are speaking to. So Sinesta is going to be sharing their story about how they made things easy, right? Their focus was when they started looking at AI and automation, their focus was, they needed speed, but simplicity, because that's what they wanted to give to their guests. They want their guests to feel like checking in and it's a vacation and it's light and it's quick. And so they're sharing their story and their approach. Again, very different. Bob's needed to make sure that their store managers had the tools that they needed to be on the floor. Sinesta needs to make sure that hiring is easy and matches their brand's identity. And so you get to hear that story, hear that different approach to how hospitality is applying AI differently from retail. And then the demos and the use cases, again, some of that bleeding edge technology, we're going to show you voice agent for the hospitality industry. Voice agents having great impact on healthcare, which we're going to talk about next. But the use cases for hospitality are so rich, especially when you need to like qualify a very, very specialized role and to figure out whether or not the person can actually work the shifts that you're looking for and just to qualify them to get them in. And then also hospitality is on the move, man. How are you retaining that talent? How are you welcoming them back? Industry Week is not just about talent acquisition. It's about the talent life cycle and how AI and automation can create better experiences for how enterprise organizations, small and mid-sized businesses go about their strategy and hiring and retaining, and how they're going to infuse AI and automation throughout those processes in order to keep people engaged, in order to provide clear career paths, in order to engage candidates with personalized jobs, in order to be able to reach out at scale and to keep people engaged. Healthcare, man.
I want to hear about it.
You want to hear about it?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, man. So
you have me locked in, and I lost my train of thought. But man. I know, you first of all, you mentioned hospitality, specifically, can you fly a plane? Was there
hospitality and travel? So you said 5 industries. We're really doing 6.
But we are doing 6, but we're combining 2 because I think there are a lot of skills
overlap
that can be tied into that. I've watched the rehearsal on HBO. I understand that pilots need to communicate in order for us to all be safe.
Bro, what about cruise lines, man? You need a full hotel staff on the water.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Sailing through international waters, you got to figure out all those regulations, all those compliances, making sure the people have the right ability to be able to work internationally. That's a headache in and of itself.
It is.
Let the tech handle it.
Exactly.
Jeez.
Let's jump into healthcare. How is healthcare different?
All right. Healthcare is really, really, really special to me. I think everybody can relate to a time in their life when they were really positively impacted by having healthcare professionals who understood them, who was able to provide that care because the right person with the right skills was in the right place at the right time. So again, taking it a step further, a hospital, just like a hotel, right? You need to provide a very different. We'll get into it, but like it runs like a hotel. It's open 24/7, except the people that are there need a lot of care.
Yeah.
And that they don't want to be there.
And they don't want to be waiting for you.
And they don't want to be waiting for you. No. The families don't want to be there either. So how are you approaching your front desk staff? How are you approaching those valet roles? How are you approaching those gift shop roles? How are you approaching the dietitians, the physical therapists, bringing them and making sure that the right care's in there? I didn't even get to the biggest hurdle, which is like nurses, making sure you have all the right staff in place and that you're showing them career paths for them to move from a clinical setting to then really make a big impact for your organization in a non-clinical setting. Again, you don't want to lose people. You just want to keep them engaged, and the technology is allowing you to do that. So what makes healthcare different? You have to be able to save lives. Your skills need to be verified, certified, and fact-checked so that you could practice medicine. And so the customer stories that we have, I'm so pumped on. We're going to be hearing from local legends, CHOP. They've been in the Philadelphia community for over 150 years. And I think to a national audience, there's hundreds, thousands of people who have experienced what CHOP can do for children and the impact that they can make in bringing children back to their normal everyday lives. Yeah. And so we're going to hear how they're creating workflows that allow them to bring in the right talent. But you know what's funny about CHOP? And I don't want to give too much away.
Yeah.
But things changed after the pandemic.
Yeah.
That 150-year legacy that I told you about, it's powerful, it's strong. They still have that, they know it. But you know what they realized? It's not just about that. It's about the day in and the day out. They realized that they needed to start showing nurses and doctors and the roles that they were filling for. They needed to start showing them what the company culture was like. What is the day in and day out? They needed to start personalizing all of their content, the images, the videos, the testimonials, the messaging, the job descriptions, the apply flows, all for these specialized roles. And they're leaning into AI and to automation so that they can also continue building on that strong legacy brand, but are also diving deeper into the things that matter to the people that they're trying to attract today.
Yeah. Talent acquisition is a what have you done for me lately sort of industry, right? And we look at that from an employee perspective where there isn't nearly as much tenure or really longevity for people's careers where they're willing to jump at the next opportunity. And it's exciting to hear about the 150-year tradition. But the only way that that's possible is if people stay for longer than 2-3 years, right? To continue to change the culture, to continue to trend in the right direction. So super exciting.
And so you were talking about keeping people involved. So we're going to be having a product demo that directly addresses the challenge of helping medical professionals see clear career paths for how they entered into your door in a clinical setting and how you could keep them long-term to move them to a non-clinical setting, how you could use AI and automation to map out those career paths as well. But the other customer story that I'm excited about is BSW, man. So they were with us last year at Industry Week, and they shared their story of how they've been applying hiring automations to their workflows, and they had amazing success last year. They are continuing to go, and they just stress tested one of our voice agents. And I'm not going to give it away. They stress tested it. Tune in to see what happens.
Right. It's a hell of a teaser.
Yeah, man. Just tune in. No, that's it. Just tune in to see what happens. Hey, they're talking about it, so it can't be bad.
Yeah.
You know? So tune in.
So we've talked about retail, the high volume hiring, the minivan, if you will, hospitality, the extra luxury, the service that you need. I'll call that the Mercedes, right? We're going to go for healthcare. I'm going to tie in the Volvo. It's the safest car that you can drive.
Fantastic.
At least that's what I always heard. I don't know if that's true. Don't sue me. Next up, we have to talk about the Ferrari. We have to talk about financial services. What do we have in store for people?
Yeah, man. For FinServ, right? So taking this a little bit further, right? So FinServe, similar to retail, hospitality, healthcare. You got to be fast as all get out, right? You have to have the right skills. Are the people smart enough to do the math? Are people compelling enough and have the right integrity to give people financial advice to invest, right? You have this, I'm leaning into this layer of compliance on top of it. And I know right now with AI and automation, one of the biggest hurdles to people actually exploring how to apply AI for their organization is compliance. And it's a right concern, right? Like bad actors are submitting resumes that are getting past screenings. Folks are hopping onto interviews now and straight up ChatGPTing answers and spitting them out in real time. Yeah. So what you're going to see by way of like a demo perspective on there is we're really leaning into that compliance story. So you're going to get a firsthand look at our integrity agent. Mm-hmm. We're going to be talking about hiring intelligence. You need to bring in the right people. You need to coordinate your teams extremely fast. So how can you use AI to start generating those questions? How can you align intake meetings with an agent? How can you go ahead and have live AI guidance that's checking off the questions? And then when you get to the fraud agent, it pops up and lets you know when somebody's a little fishy as well. And then we're talking about skills intelligence too. So like how you could see the people in your organization. Again, talent management is a major theme throughout each and every day. Yep. I'm really getting tired of like the distinction between TA and TM, if I'm being honest with you, because it's all people. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, if you get somebody in your door, do you want to dissatisfy them to make them want to leave? Like the process, it's the same. You're taking care of people and you're providing them with opportunities. If you drop off once they join your organization, of course they're going to go look other places. Yeah. So we're going to be showing you how with our advanced X Plus ontologies, specifically built for financial services, that's built on millions, billions of tokens of data, of HR specific data, how that provides you with the insights to start seeing the necessary skills that you need for your emerging roles, who has those skills, and the gaps that exist, and how you could start applying some learning opportunities to get them there. Yeah, no, super, super exciting and frightening. When you mention, some of the bad actors, you're not talking about movies, you're talking about people who could affect your business. Yeah, man. And from a conversation that I had with Sebastian a few weeks ago on a TXL episode, it's not necessarily about removing anyone from the process. It's giving you that insight that if somebody has a little bit of a strange answer for that next round in the interview, to drill a little bit deeper, ask for specific examples, specific numbers. Most of the time, if people aren't specific, it's going to be fabricated, right, in that sense. And you can continue to do that. Obviously, at the end of the day, the human will make the decision. We're not creating automated employment decision-making tools. Nope. It's always, I love that you brought that guidance. I'm trying to look out for me here, Mike. I don't want to get because at the trouble. End of the day, I mean, dude, we're exploring the different levels as well of where people are with AI and automation. What you're describing is like a level 5. Everything is fully integrated and simulated to where the person's just checking to verify that the system is running effectively. Yep, that's a long road between where we are today and where the vision of the future is going to be. And so human in the loop, human integrity is always going to be central to the way we at Phenom build our technology. Absolutely. I think that was the perfect way to describe a Ferrari. Yeah, man. If I do say so myself. And going back to the top, I mean, the roles are moving aggressively fast, especially in FinServe. I don't know how you compete with a $500,000 bonus. You know what I mean? You got to be fast and you have to be personal. And you have to get in front of them. Yep, exactly. Last but not least of the industries, manufacturing. So for this vehicle, I'm thinking, Ford F-150, not an F-250, because you need to be able to move through the city, right? That. Lots of construction. Mm-hmm. However, they're looking more and more luxurious every day. They really Touchscreens, leather seats throughout. Is it still a pickup truck? I think it is a utility vehicle now. Because when I think of a pickup truck, I think of like a rusty old pickup truck. You toss everything in the back. It's that friend you call to help you move. Now I hear stories of people with pickup trucks who won't even use it to move their belongings. I'm like, what's the point? Serious? Oh, that's another story for another day. But yeah, I have heard that. I don't. It's like, no, this is my. Okay, we'll talk about this. Yeah. Anyway, manufacturing. Let's dive into it. F-150 is a perfect way to kind of describe what's going on there because, right, it's an industry of hardworking people, but there's this change that's going on within the industry where folks are looking to move away from having that stereotypical idea of I'm on a plant floor, I just do grunt work.
Yep.
That's not manufacturing today.
No.
Manufacturing is running robotics. Manufacturing is following, tight timelines and deadlines. Manufacturing is about making sure that you can hire people to fill your production requirements in real time, to make sure that your reputation is not at risk. So for that day, we're going to be talking with Clemens Foods here, and we're going to talk to them about how they made the shift from being like when I say paper, I mean like paper, like filing cabinets,
yeah,
of paper to manage their whole hiring process, from submitting an application, resume, intake meeting notes, all that jazz, man. And how they moved and started leaning into using AI and automation and completely simplified their process. And they're able now to find workers who are in very remote areas. I mean, they are a manufacturer of food products. And so you need farmers, you need people that can take care of some land, and they are not living in New York City. No. And so how do you get in front of them? How do you connect with them? You need mobile tools that allow you to get in front of people in real time, and that gives them the flexibility to get back to you as well. And then we're going to hear from Waste Connections and how, they're a recycler, they're a waste removal organization. They're going to be telling us they've had so much impact with AI and automation. They're going to peel back the curtain, let us know really where they're going next and how you can start taking steps for yourself.
Yeah, no, this is super exciting stuff. And just to correct you there are farmers in New York City, but they live in Brooklyn and they also brew their own beer. So not who you're looking for in that particular.
Maybe. I'm not looking for that guy.
No, absolutely not. You are looking for those more remote folks who you wouldn't have been able to find before, right? Because they're not able to drop off a hand paper resume or application or anything like that. Mike, we talked about some of the powerful stories that are coming out of this. We talked about some of the hands-on demos, the sneak peek of the stress-tested Baylor Scott & White, I believe, voice agent. I want to ask you, is there anything else from compelling story or demo that you're excited to see before we jump into why people should attend to learn more about AI?
Yeah, so we are still adding to the day.
Yep.
And so stay tuned. We're going to be infusing a little bit more of that agentic advanced AI positioning and products for you to go explore and to experiment. But man, I'm just excited because this is I love concerts, man. I love going to a good show, and there's nothing better than a killer lineup. When the bands are great from 12 o'clock all the way till 11, I feel like we have a lineup where you're going to hear every single day from national brands that dude, I've been sitting on Bob's Furniture since I was 18, for over 20 years. I've been sitting on Bob's Furniture, and we're going to be talking to them, right? Yeah. We're hearing stories from healthcare organizations that are globally known and making big impacts. We're hearing from Sonesta, who's a global hotel chain. I mean, the stories are big, the impact is real, and the solutions are practical.
Newfound respect for roadies and stagehands at concerts during festivals now?
Big time.
For you? Yeah, because you're pulling all the strings back there.
Yeah, man.
So, no, it is exciting. It's awesome to see those household names and understand that they once had the same challenges that you do at home, right?
Without a doubt.
And they're able to overcome them.
Yeah, because last year was really all about the art of the possible, right? People were just starting to take dipping their toe in the water of AI and automation. Over the last 12 months, people have taken steps, people have taken leaps, people are running with it. And so we really want to cover that full spectrum of where people are with leveling up with AI and automation. We want to make sure that for attendees, you see real hope and real possibility for the solutions that you could apply to really solve some of your major pain points. Those headaches about that unfilled role, your boss breathing down your neck because you're not getting enough applicants in to fill that position. We're helping.
Yeah. So speaking of starting to kind of get your toes wet when it comes to artificial intelligence, what would you say to someone who may be hesitant about it right now, and what they could learn, from Industry Week when it comes to giving it the full go?
Yeah, I'd say, people are already using it. So if you're still standing on the sidelines, you might be a little flat-footed at this point. And so what I would say is if you haven't taken any steps with AI and automation, if you are completely agnostic towards it, or if you just are scared of it and off put by it, take one step. Head on over to industryweek.phenom.com, register for the day that fits into your industry. So if it's retail, register for that. If it's hospitality, join us for that day. Heck, if you want to join every single day to start seeing what trends are happening in other industries, sign up for the whole week. Hear from industry leaders who are actually getting real impact, real return on investments, like 90% completion rates, for screens. We're talking about like reducing time to fill near like 2x%, right? Like the numbers are outrageous and the impact is real. So you're going to hear that from people who are in your own shoes, and they're going to give you that advice to start taking those steps. But then you're going to see, and it's going to be practically aligned to what is real, what is tangible, what you can start implementing today.
What is that old saying that the best ideas are stolen?
100%.
Right? You're learning from other, kind of cherry picking the best ideas and creating a pie, if you will, of your own talent pool. That's how you find success.
Yeah.
People are calling this the hottest event of HR event of the summer. What do you have to say to them? Them being me, and also what makes it different from other industry events, right? We have these dedicated large conference halls for certain industries. What makes this different, would you say?
I would say that, industry specific events really kind of dive into that industry. What we are giving you, again, it's taking that like week-long approach of it. Dude, people are spending millions of dollars on HR technology, and they're trying to make it work for their business without understanding if the vendor even understands how to make it work for their industry, for their specific pain points. What we're doing is we're showing you that Phenom is that company that knows how to apply AI, and we're going to show you how.
Awesome. Well, beyond the stories, beyond, the great demos, things like that, is there anything people are walking away with? Anything they can get out of this that may be, I wouldn't say tangible, but certainly worth their while?
Each day is going to have an offer in that. And that offer is going to be a really, really clear next step for how you can get your own personalized plan for how you can start taking steps with hiring automation and AI.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Also SHRM credits as well, right?
SHRM, dude. Get those credits, man. Get that summer school done.
My wife is in the industry, the HR industry, and every year, at the end of the year, she's like, I need more SHRM credits. What do I have
Join
to
now.
go?
Get it done in the summer.
Exactly. It's like summer reading. Right?
Exactly,
Back
man.
in the day. Then you don't have to pretend and read the Spark Notes in the fall. That's what I used to do, Mike.
I did that. I didn't even read the Spark. I just bought the Spark Notes and just felt okay.
I tried books on,
and then I put it under my pillow at night, and I dreamed that it would flow into my brain.
I tried to do the audiobooks. I ended up just playing
audiobooks.
Madden the whole time and listening to J.R.R. Tolkien in the background. It did not do me well. Now I read again. If anyone's listening right now, where should they go? I know you mentioned it a couple times. Let's do it one more time. You got this camera.
Yeah, man.
Right down the frame.
If you are ready to start taking your first step with AI and automation, if you're ready to take your next leap with AI and automation, head on over to industryweek.phenom.com. Register today. Sign up for the whole week, man. Sign up for just a day. Sign up for multiple days. We want you there because we truly believe that every single day you're going to hear from industry leaders who know your situation. You're going to get those practical insights that you need in order to make an impact for your organization. And we're going to be giving you an opportunity to sign up for that personalized game plan.
Yeah. Awesome, Mike. I won't miss it.
Nice.
Actually, I might miss it.
You might.
But these things happen, right? No, I would be there if I could.
We're going to be seeing you on Industry Week too.
I will be there.
You are going to be there.
Yeah, I will.
And you're going to be on a day.
The whole time. I can't wait for that.
We got you plugged in.
But nonetheless, thank you again for joining.
Dude,
always insightful. Always just a ball of energy here. I enjoyed. I think we had some fun with some analogies based on how specific these industries truly are, and how you can also take ideas across industries and create kind of a hybrid approach for your organization. As always, thank everyone at home for tuning in. Like Mike said, go register for Industry Week. Starts July the 28th, goes till the end of the week. If you can't make it one of those days and you want to, it will be available on demand. You just have to register beforehand. But in the meantime, I hope everyone has a safe, happy, and healthy weekend. We will be back next Thursday for another episode of TXL because we do this every damn Thursday. But I hope everyone has a safe, happy, and healthy day, and we'll see you soon. Thanks so much. Bye.